Welcome to another school year. My name is Catherine Walling, and I want to share information that will help you be successful in class this year. This presentation will cover class expectations, consequences, smartphone and electronic devices, dress code, grading, Google Classroom, bathroom passes, and where you can find the class information. Let's look at my expectations for your behavior. First, I expect you to be respectful. Examples of respect include listening while someone else is speaking, using positive language when giving feedback to others, and refraining from using offensive language. I find it offensive when the Lord's name is taken in vain, when someone is called a female dog, when someone is called illegitimate, when someone uses the acronym for forced use of carnal knowledge. Second, I expect you to be on time. I will close the door when the tardy bell rings. Any student entering the room after the door is closed is tardy. Any student more than 20 minutes tardy is considered absent. Students are expected to use the restroom and get water during transition. Third, I expect you to be on task. Examples include taking notes, asking questions, participating in class discussions, completing assignments, and working with other students. If you use class time to complete your assignments, you won't need to complete them at home. Fourth, I expect you to be prepared. Students are expected to bring their Chromebooks or laptop and charger each day. Students are expected to keep up with materials. There are consequences for not following expectations. I do not argue. I enforce the consequences. The first time an expectation is not met, you receive a verbal warning and you sign a warning notification. This documents that you have been warned. The second time an expectation is not met, you receive 15 minutes of after-school detention. I notify your parents, and you sign a warning notification that lists the date and time of your detention. The warning notification documents you have been given detention. If you have after-school activities, it is your responsibility to explain to your coach or sponsor why you will be late to practice. If you do not show up, I write a discipline referral. The third time an expectation is not met, you receive 30 minutes of after-school detention. I notify your parents of the date and time of the detention, and you sign a warning notification that lists the date and time of the detention. The warning notification documents you have been given detention. Again, if you have after-school activities, it is your responsibility to explain to your coach or sponsor why you will be late to practice. If you do not show up, I write a discipline referral. The fourth time you do not meet expectations, you receive a discipline referral. Smartphones, earphones, and earbuds are not allowed in the classroom. Smartphones and other personal electronic devices will be placed in the phone caddy before the beginning of class. They can be retrieved when you exit the class after you have been dismissed. In the event a student chooses not to place the smartphone or other personal electronic device in the phone caddy, the first offense, the device will be taken and may be picked up at 4:30 p.m. You sign a warning notification when you pick up your device at 4:30 p.m. The second offense, the device will be taken and turned into the office with a discipline referral. You may be required to pay a fine to get your device. Your parents may be required to come to school. You do not have to be using your phone or electronic device for it to be confiscated. If it is not placed in the phone caddy, it will be confiscated. If I attempt to confiscate your device and you refuse, security will be called. You will be sent to the office. You will be issued a discipline referral for not following a teacher's directive and for having your electronic device out. I will not argue with you. I will ask you twice, then I call for security. I enforce the dress code. You can find the dress code in the Student Code of Conduct on pages 41 through 44. The Student Code of Conduct can be downloaded in both English and Spanish from the Clint ISD website. Click on the Student tab, then open Student Code of Conduct. A copy of the Student Code of Conduct in English has been placed in the Google Classroom under General Information. You can also find the dress code in the Student Handbook on page 49. The Student Handbook can be found on the Horizon High School website. Look on the Our School tab, then open Student Handbook. It can be downloaded in both English and Spanish. A copy of the Student Handbook in English has been placed in the Google Classroom under General Information. The first infraction, the student receives a verbal warning, signs a warning notification, and parents are notified. Thereafter, hats are taken and turned into the office. Students with inappropriate clothing are sent to the office. Inappropriate clothing includes bare midriffs, shorts more than 3 inches above the knee, pants below the buttocks. See the Student Code of Conduct for a full list. Clint ISD requires at least 2 daily grades a week and at least 1 quiz grade every 2 weeks. All graded assignments are daily grades or quizzes. Not all assignments are graded. Some assignments are to prepare students for the graded assignments. Daily grades are worth 80% of the grade. Quizzes are worth 20% of the total grade. These percentages are set by Clint ISD board policy. Students can access all assignments in Google Classroom. Grades are recorded as a 0 in Skyward until the work is turned in. Each assignment has a listed due date. Assignments are expected to be submitted by the due date. A student has 7 calendar days past the due date to submit the assignment with no penalty. After 7 calendar days, Google Classroom will no longer accept a submission for the assignment. Special consideration to submit an assignment after 7 days will be considered on a case-by-case basis. To request special consideration, the student must open the assignment in Google Classroom and post a private comment explaining the reason for special consideration. The teacher will review the request and determine if special consideration is warranted. The teacher's decision is final. Most assignments turned in with a score less than 70 can be redone by using the redo link in the private comment left with your score in Google Classroom. Follow the instructions to resubmit the redo assignment. The original grade and the redo grade will be averaged. You will know your assignment has been graded when I post the score in Google Classroom. In most cases, the score in Google Classroom is uploaded to Skyward immediately. A grade sheet report showing all graded assignments for the grading period, as well as the current average, is posted each week in Google Classroom. The grade sheet reports are posted by student ID number. On Monday or Tuesday of each week, a progress detail report is emailed to your parents. You receive a copy of this email. The report shows your current average, lists your scores on all the graded assignments, and lists all your missing assignments. If your average is less than 70, mandatory tutoring may be assigned. Failure to attend mandatory tutoring will result in a referral to the office. Humans make errors. I am human. It is your responsibility to compare your score on an assignment with the score posted in Google Classroom and the score posted in Skyward. Please follow this process for asking a question about an assignment. Open the assignment in Google Classroom. Write your question or comment as a private comment. Post the private comment. This links your question or comment to the assignment and allows me to better respond. Let's talk about Google Classroom. Students are expected to bring their Chromebooks, computers, and chargers to class each day. I do not have a Chromebook charger. If your Chromebook is not charged, you cannot do your assignment. Students are expected to check email daily, Monday through Friday. Clint ISD uses Outlook in Office 365 for email. I send a reminder email when you have not submitted an assignment. You receive comments about assignments through email. You receive your weekly progress detail report in your email. Students are expected to check Google Classroom for assignments and makeup work. All of your assignments are posted in Google Classroom, even if we're using another application like StudySync, Nearpod, or Quizzes. Use your Clint ISD email address and password for any application that asks you to set a username and password. That way you only have to remember one username and password. Unless you have a doctor's note requiring frequent trips to the restroom, understand leaving class to go to the restroom is a privilege, not a right. You are expected to use the restroom and get water during class transitions. There is plenty of time to go to the restroom, get water, and get to class on time if you don't stand around and talk. Each student receives a maximum of 5 hall passes per 9 weeks. Yes, I do keep track. When those 5 are gone, they are gone. There are also considerations for letting you have a hall pass. When you are on time to class, then you're considered. If you were tardy, then you should have used the restroom before you came to class. If student IDs have been issued, do you have your student ID? Are you following the dress code? Are you on task? If you've been goofing around, you may not get a hall pass. Are your electronics in the phone caddy? Finally, no hall passes are given during the first or last 15 minutes of class. We've covered a lot of information. A copy of the class information and a video of this presentation is posted in your Google Classroom and posted on my website, Mrs. Walling's Classroom. The link to my website is in your Google Classroom. Please share this class information and my website, Mrs. Walling's Classroom, with your parents. If you have any questions or would like clarification about anything I've just covered, now is the time to ask.